Alright guys, welcome to part 2 of the 650cc go-kart build. As you guys know, last video, I picked this thing up for basically free. It was 250 bucks, and the guy was getting rid of it because he knew nothing about it and just wanted some money for rent. And this is what he got in exchange for that. So he just wanted to get rid of it, and I bought it, and we figured out that it does shift into gear, but the motor is locked up. We let it soak with oil for probably, I think it's been 3 days now. And we took the spark plugs out and we tried to hook up the starter and nothing was working. So today what we're gonna do is try to get the motor unstuck, see if we can do that. I haven't tried it at all yet today, so we'll see what happens here. And then we're going to try to get the wiring figured out. As you guys know, last video, the wiring was kind of rigged together weird and did not work. So what we're going to do today is try to figure out the wiring. I got some wiring diagrams printed out here for a 650, Kawasaki 650, and we'll see if that helps us. But other than that, it should be pretty exciting. I think we're going to take the gas tank off, start with that so we can get to the engine, and then probably take out the carburetors. And then we're probably gonna have to take off the top end of the engine. It'll be exciting. We'll dig into it today, see what happens. Stay tuned. All right, I just put it in gear. Let's see if we can get this engine free. Yeah, that's a big no-go for that. So what we're gonna do now is probably take off the starter. That could be binding up in there. So we'll start with the starter, take that out. Take the starter off. Just 2 bolts, and then we'll pull it off here quick. All right, that didn't change anything. It's still locked up. I thought maybe the starter was binding up in there, but that was not the problem. All right, got the starter off. Right here, we'll put that aside. Next, we'll take off the gas tank. All right, got the gas tank off. All the wiring is really messed up in here. You can see, now we've got access to the whole top of the motor, which is good. But yeah, the wiring is all janky in here. It's like all half connected. So this one goes to this one goes to this one, and these, I have no idea where those go to. We'll have to rewire this whole thing. But the main focus is trying to get the motor to turn over. And yeah, right now it's looking pretty difficult, but we'll get the gas tank completely off and then start digging into it some more. All right, next thing I want to do is maybe take off the flywheel cover, see if we can get access to the big bolt down there and try to spin the engine over. All right, so all the bolts in the flywheel cover were stripped out. So I got the drill, drilled them out, and we finally got access to the flywheel. All the spark plugs are out, so it should turn over freely, really easily. But check this out. Does not turn over at all. You try to push the whole machine. Does not budge at all. So it's locked up pretty tight. What we're gonna do now is tear apart the top of the motor, see if we can get to the pistons, and then I guess go from there. We gotta take off the pipe first, and then we've gotta take off all these screws on top of here, get to the cam chain, which I think is right here with the big sprocket right there. Take off the carburetors. So yeah, fun. All right, to get the pipe off a little bit easier, we're gonna take out the seat. The seat has two big bolts up here, and then I think it's bolted to the ground, which is gonna be underneath the vinyl on here. So let's try to take that crap off of there. I'm excited to see what's living underneath the seat. Should be exciting. All right, seat came off, okay. All right, padding came off. I don't really want to look underneath here. It's completely soaked with water. Oh, that's wonderful. That's awesome. Let that drip over here. And as you can see, a couple bolts hold this thing on, I think. You can see the bolts on the ground right there. Alright, that's for the seat belts, it looks like. This little seatbelt harness came off. Alright, now we're going to work on the bottom of the seat here. Oh, that one came right out. That was pretty easy. All right, all the bolts out. So we've got access to the pipes right there. All right, we need to unscrew all these. All right, those are off. Let's try to take off the pipe now. All right, it's pretty rough in there. Not gonna lie, it's not looking too good. But let's just take off the whole head here. Just go through it. At this point, we might as well do it. Yep. All right, it's coming along. Let's see what's underneath here. Check that out. Looks pretty good. All right. All right, we're gonna take some pictures of what this looks like so I can remember how to put it back in. All right, let's continue the process. To be lost, so that goes all the way down, goes around the sprocket down there, and then comes back up around these two. And so we're gonna put a wire in between here and then hook it to the frame, just so that we can keep that thing up. These are all labeled, so we can take these off. Don't want that chain falling through. All right, that's secured in there. All right, you can see the valves right here. They all look pretty good. You got the speedometer coming in through right here. It looks like that still spins freely. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bolts. So we need to take off 12 bolts and then we can take off the head. these two bolts right here just came out of down here. Now we'll grab the rubber mallet. See if we can hit this thing off of there. All right, got the rubber mallet here. Just see if we can loosen this guy up. All right, we're gonna take off the carburetors. I completely forgot about taking off the carburetors. All right, guys, you got the carburetors off. They're sitting right over here. That carburetor set of 4 carburetors is probably like 20 pounds. It's crazy how heavy that thing is. But while I was getting the carburetors off, the head came loose. So now we can just pull this thing off, hopefully. We'll see. We're gonna have to string the wire through the head to take it off, but it shouldn't be too bad. Set that there for right now. All right, we've got access to the pistons. So that's pretty cool. Take a quick peek at them. Wow, pretty rusty in there. I can feel something. There's glass in there. That's weird. Piece of glass in that one. The other ones don't feel too bad. Just a lot of corrosion going on. You can see the cylinders just have a ton of corrosion. Yeah. But that's what they look like. They're honestly not that bad. I think we can probably free these up. So let's work at these a little bit and see if we can free them up here. All right, guys, so one of the pistons is actually moving over here. I was hitting on the cylinder with a hammer, and it's becoming pretty loose, so that's good. But I'm just trying to move it around a little bit, pound it up and down, just move it all over the place, kind of just loosen up these pistons a bit. I don't want to spin it over yet because there might be some rust particles in here still. So what we're going to do is take some steel wool and go around the cylinders, try to get all the rust out, get all that oil out, then just keep on working these until they're all free. And then we're probably going to have to get a new gasket for this bad boy, but that's not too bad. We're going to check the pistons out, see what those look like. And yeah, so at least one of them is free. We'll work on them and just see if we can get this thing going. They're stuck right here. Those have a little bit of rust in them. So let's just kind of look at them and try to clear those out a little bit more because it's getting caught up on something. They're pretty stuck in there. The 2 other pistons, you can see the cylinders are clear and they actually look really good. So if we can get the 2 middle ones unstuck, we can actually take off the whole cylinder and start cleaning it, and then we can inspect the rods and everything. All right, guys, the cylinder is about to come off. Pistons are unstuck now. All right, so we got the cylinder off. You can see the cylinder walls are a little bit rough, but they're not scratched up. You can see the amount of rust that was in there is just unbelievable. That's why it wouldn't turn over. The outside cylinders are really good. The inside just have a layer of rust, but nothing a hone won't take out. And then wait till you see these pistons here. So my guess is that water went through the carburetor on the outside and then down the piston. And I think what happened was it went down to the two middle cylinders the most. So let's just take a look. This is one piston that was pretty bad. The rings are all stuck. This is the first one. Rings are loose in this one. And it's actually pretty good. Doesn't look too bad. No scoring on it at all. Same with the middle ones. They don't look bad. It's just that the rings are all stuck. Oh, this middle one, rings are open. On this one, the rings are good. So these pistons are really not that bad. I just want to see what happens when we crank it over a little bit. We've got the flywheel off right here. We're going to see what happens here. Man, that's crazy in there. You can see like a big chain in there, down there, and then this chain loops to a sprocket on the inside of there. It's crazy how big this motor is. Just massive. But let's spin this over and see what happens. We're gonna put some oil down there as well. All right, so there's a bunch of debris all over here, like little piles of sand you can see right there. So we're gonna take the vacuum and just vacuum all that crap out of there before we start turning around this engine. Alright guys, so we got everything off of the motor here. Pistons look pretty good. Cylinders look pretty good. What we're going to do is soak these pistons in the ultrasonic cleaner, take off each piston one at a time, soak each one, clean the one, and then put the one on, just so we don't mix them up, you know. So the first piston we're going to put in is this one, make it perfect, and then put it back on. And then the second piston we'll put in the ultrasonic cleaner, make it perfect, put it back on, then do that with the other two. And then we also have to figure out how we're going to clean out the head right here. You can see they're a little bit crusty in there. It has a little bit of carbon built up in each of the head areas and the little domes. So we're going to have to clean those out as well. And then we've got to get a new gasket for this right here. And then we have to get a new gasket for the base gasket right here. So we got to order those up. And then we might have to order some new rings for this piston as well. And then slap those on there if we can't get them out, or a brand new piston. We'll have to see. And then we have to go over here and we're gonna have to clean out these cylinders really well. These are pretty good on this side. These are a little bit rusty on the inside. But no huge gouges I can't feel yet, so I think we'll be good there. And then yeah, clean those out and then put it back together and we'll see if this thing runs. We've got quite a bit of work to do on this thing still, so stay tuned for that. But that'll be it for today's video. It was exciting seeing the motor come apart, and it was pretty lucky that the pistons came out of the cylinders without wrecking them. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys want parts, ATV parts, dirt bike parts, scooter parts, go to www.lap2.com, laptwo.com, and you can find a bunch of used, hard to find parts. I use it all the time. So anyway, thanks for watching guys, thanks for subscribing, and until next time, we are out.